you just found out there is a warrant for your arrest. The next couple hours are very critical in how your future could pan out. So if you don't want to make the wrong mistake, you want to listen to this information we have to offer for you, because it can be the difference between turning yourself and getting out immediately or at a low bond versus going on the run and having them come pick you up. And that's a whole different story. Hi, my name is Frank Walker. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Western Pennsylvania. That's Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. When you think of Western Pennsylvania, just think of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Pittsburgh Penguins. We don't talk about Pitt at all. I'm a WVU guy. So when you think about Western Pennsylvania, there's a lot of counties encompassed. There's Allegheny County, there's Washington County, there's Fayette County, there's Greene County, all in the bottom southwestern Pennsylvania. What we're going to talk about in the next couple minutes in this video is how you could turn yourself in on a warrant and get out successfully, as opposed to either paying a high bond or having your bond denied and having been detained in jail pending the outcome of your case. Also, I'm going to walk through what not to say, what you should say, what calls you should make, who you should make the calls to, and how to best set your case up for success moving forward from the very beginning. Because bond is premised on two things. Are you a flight risk? Are you a danger to society? That's it. It's never intended to be punitive. It's never intended to just hurt you moving forward. In the best case scenario, when you find out there's a warrant for your arrest, you want to be able to contact an attorney, and that attorney should be able to negotiate your surrender. And what does that mean? You're turning yourself in, meaning you're going with an attorney. You've negotiated when, where to turn yourself in, and how to post a bond immediately so you can go out and prepare your case from the outside of jail as opposed to being detained throughout the process. Because what you do not want under any circumstances is to find out there's a warrant for your arrest, delay turning yourself in and delay addressing it, and then have them come to your office, come to your job, come to your church, come anywhere to pick you up, and you get blindsided by an arrest. So just lock in for the next couple of minutes. I'm gonna give you some valuable information that you may need, or your friends may need, or your family members may need in order to effectively address your warrant if and when you should have one. Because if you think, hey, I can just handle it myself, I'll just go down there and explain everything, no big deal, I'll just wait for a couple days, wait the weekend, you're sadly mistaken. Because at any time, once a warrant's issued for your arrest, at any time they can come and pick you up. And that's an issue for you. You don't want those problems. Now, the very first thing you need to do when you find out there's a warrant for your arrest, ready for this? Don't panic. I know it seems counterintuitive. You've got it, found out there's a warrant for your arrest. You're thinking, oh, the world's about to end. Other shoes about to drop. I'm going to jail. No, it just means that a judge has heard enough evidence to establish that, hey, maybe a crime was committed and you're possibly the person who committed that crime. It's a probable cause standard. It's very low. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It doesn't mean you're guilty. It doesn't mean anything. All that means is there's enough evidence moving forward to effectuate your arrest and call you to come and answer for these charges. Now, what it does not mean is that you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So don't think that. There's a lot of circumstances where a warrant can be issued for your arrest. It could be for missed court dates, meaning you had a court date on another case and you didn't show up. There's a bench warrant issued for your arrest because you didn't show up. Or you had court fines, you had court costs, you had restitution that you didn't pay. There were certain things you were required to do based on a previous case and you didn't do that. Therefore, a warrant, or sometimes called a capias, was issued for your arrest. And you are now required to go in and address that issue and address the other issues that caused the warrant to be issued for your arrest. But the worst thing, the absolute worst thing you can do is run when you find out that a warrant is issued for your arrest. Because think about it. Let's say you found out from your friend that you may have a warrant issued for your arrest. The first thing you do, you want to take off running. That's a bad thing to do, because now you've already established that you are a flight risk. If you take off running, if you panic, that makes it much, much harder for you to address your issue and argue to the court that the warrant should be recalled or that the warrant should be quashed. I had a client, his name was Mike. Mike found out there was a warrant issued for his arrest. Instead of calling me to effectuate his safe surrender, he took off running. Now, days go by, weeks go by. They're calling me. I'm like, hey, I don't know where he's at. He took off running. He hasn't contacted me. They pick him up in another state with a different identity, and he's committed some other crimes. So he has a whole lot of stuff going on. Now, another situation named Arnett. Arnett found out he had a warrant issued for his arrest. He contacted me. I was able to contact the clerk, able to contact the detective, able to contact the prosecutor who's over the case and say, hey, he's going to turn himself in. He's retained counsel. He's not a flight risk. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He's not a danger to society. Let's turn him in. If there's a bond, let's set it at a nominal rate so he can pay the bond, get out, post, and now he can fight his case from the street. He's not running. He's not a flight risk. Neither is he a danger to society. So whether you want to be Mike, take off running, or Arnett, contact an attorney and safe return, which would you choose? I'm pretty sure most of you would choose the Arnett situation because you don't want to spend any time, not even a minute, in jail. And that can happen in your case if you contact an attorney who's experienced in dealing with these warrants and how to recall them. So to wrap up this portion, do this. Woosha. Take a deep breath. relax. If you find out there's a warrant, contact an attorney. The next step for the attorney is to confirm the facts. The first question you want to know is the warrant real? Now, I know it sounds crazy. Why would someone give me a fake warrant? Well, there's a lot of scams out there. If you think you may have a warrant, or you start getting some letters and it starts to look official, or it's just a card or something, before you start panicking, before you call anyone, whether it be the person who left the card, or someone says, hey, if you don't pay this amount of money, you're going to go to jail because we have this warrant for your arrest. Don't freak out. Contact an attorney. Well, while you're contacting an attorney, you can also look online, because in Pennsylvania, you can search a website that can tell you if a warrant has been issued for your arrest. It's called Pennsylvania United Judicial System website, UJS for short. If you go into Google, go into Yahoo, go whatever search engine you use, and then search UJS portal. Search your name by participant name, your first name and your last name, and search it. If it shows up as inactive, that means you have a warrant for your arrest. Again, don't panic, remain calm. Contact a criminal defense attorney, because in that situation, they can, whether it's me or anyone else, they can effectively address that warrant. Don't wait for the police to come and find you, because you lose your argument that, hey, I turned myself in, I'm not a flight risk. Now, you also want to be proactive. Have your information available. There's certain information they're going to need to confirm from you if you speak to an attorney about your arrest warrant. Obviously, your name, first and last name, date of birth, and sometimes your case number. Now, it also depends why the arrest warrant was issued, because if it's a probation violation, meaning you didn't pay fines, you didn't show up, or you had a dirty urine, that's a different type of warrant that needs to be addressed, because there's different issues. If it's a warrant because it's a new case and it just hasn't been addressed yet and you haven't been arraigned for it, that's a whole different type of warrant. Or it's an issue because you've committed a new crime and it's a whole different case because you're on bond for a current case and now you've allegedly committed another case. That's a whole different argument. It all depends on what type of warrant you may have. Again, not all notifications of a warrant are official. I have one client named Sarah. Sarah got the information thinking that, oh, it's official looking paperwork. It looks like a warrant. Maybe I need to call this person and have my money available. Anytime they're telling you, hey, Venmo us money, Zelle us some money, Cash App us some money, that is not an effective way to address a warrant. If you think you're being notified about a warrant, contact a criminal defense attorney, because you don't want to get scammed. On top of being scared out of your life, you're getting scammed out of your money, and on top of that, the warrant still exists and the police can still come pick you up. Now, the next step is simple. Don't try to handle this alone. Everyone thinks, oh, I can just go down and address it. I got this card, I got this notification about a warrant. I can just go down to the police station. Well, let's think about this, okay? Let's say it is a Friday before a holiday weekend. Let's say Monday's a holiday or Tuesday's a holiday, and a lot of people are going to take off Monday. You go in Friday, so you know what, let me just get this over with for the weekend. You may catch the detective after 4 o'clock, after the judge has gone or the judge shift has changed and it's about to change, and you may catch a detective say, you know what, you have this warrant, I have to arrest you. What you're telling me doesn't make sense. Or even if I want to believe it, I'm required to arrest you. They arrest you, guess where you're sitting on the weekend? On Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday, maybe even Tuesday, simply because you thought you could handle it yourself. That is not an effective way to address a warrant. Contact a criminal defense attorney, because you don't want to be sitting in there in jail simply because you thought you could handle it yourself. Don't call them. Don't call the police officers. If you think it's a new case, let's say it's an harassment case or it's a terroristic threats. You know the victim. You know there's a warrant for your arrest because you just got into an argument a couple weeks ago at this bar or at your neighbor's house or whatever, and you know there's a warrant for your arrest. Now you think, oh, I know there's a warrant. Let me just go ahead and talk to this alleged victim because I can just sort this out and we don't have to go to court. If there is a warrant, police officers are required to arrest you. It's not something you can talk your way out of. Now, a criminal defense attorney could negotiate a way to turn yourself in and get out quick as possible, but you don't want to handle it by yourself because you've already made a mistake, whether it be a lapse in judgment or you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, or you did something stupid. It doesn't matter what the reason is the warrant is issued. They need to address that warrant. And if you think you can handle it yourself after making that bad decision that caused the issuance of the warrant itself, you're sadly mistaken. And it's going to be a long weekend for you or a couple more days in jail simply because you thought you could handle it yourself. Don't do it alone. Contact a criminal defense attorney. They are experienced in this area to help you out and address those warrants. So why do I keep saying contact a criminal defense attorney? It's not because we're just trying to get your case, trying to get money from you to represent you. No, that's not the issue. Again, whether it's me or anyone else, I want you to have the information to address your warrant if you find out that there is a warrant. What are some of the things an experienced criminal defense attorney can help you with if you find out you have a warrant? One, they can find out if the warrant is real. Is it an active warrant? It is a real warrant, or is it just a scam? Two, they can find out the reason for the warrant. Is it because of missed court date? Is it because of new charges? Is it because of fines, court costs, or restitution? They can find out the issue why the warrant is issued. Three, they can also find out if they can turn you in and possibly get you out on the same day. Some people call it a walkthrough. Some people call it a show up. It doesn't matter. They can find out where you need to turn yourself in. Number four, they can also determine what time you need to turn yourself in. Because some people may think, oh, I can turn myself at any time. It all depends on a different county, the different township, and whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor. Sometimes felonies, you can only turn yourself in downtown Pittsburgh if you're in Allegheny County. If it's a misdemeanor or a summary offense, like a traffic ticket, or it's an underage drinking or disorderly conduct, or a DUI, sometimes you could turn yourself in at the local magistrate in the suburbs or out what we call out in the area, as opposed to downtown city of Pittsburgh. It all depends on what type of warrant it is. Next, an experienced criminal defense attorney can determine what the allegations are. Again, is it a probation violation? Is it a new charge? If it is a new charge, what are the allegations within the charge or within the affidavit of probable cause or the criminal complaint that are suffice for a judge to issue the warrant? And finally, they can determine how long you need to sit in jail. Because if it's something where it's a host of charges, you may be sitting for a while, or it's going to be a large bond in order to post to get out. And if so, they need to work out secondary issues, meaning that you can't just walk in and walk out. You may need to contact a bondsman. And if so, what is the bondsman going to require for you to get out of jail? Those are all the things an experienced criminal defense attorney can help you out if you find out that a warrant is issued for your arrest. You please, again, don't go at this alone. It may sound simple. It may say, hey, I watched Frank Walk on his YouTube video. He showed me everything I need to do. That's great. But what's the one thing I keep repeating over and over and over again? Contact a criminal defense attorney. They are there for a reason. They know the area, they know the township, they know the county in which you're in, and they know how to operate within that county. And you need to find an attorney who can navigate those county rules and those issues that can happen within that county in order to get you out of jail as soon as possible. An experienced criminal defense attorney can also file motions to vacate or recall that warrant. For example, I had my man Sean. He found out that there was a warrant for his arrest, but the warrant got sent to his ex-wife's house, meaning he's not there anymore. It was issued there. He had moved months before that warrant got issued. Now the warrant was issued there. He didn't know anything about it, so he didn't know how to address it. He didn't know it needed to be addressed. Once Sean found out there was a warrant issued for his arrest, he called me up. I did some digging, found out that the warrant was issued to it at his prior address, and they were looking for him at his prior address, and I was able to file a motion to get that warrant vacated and get him turned in, get everything updated in the court. Meaning that in the very beginning, if you're on probation and you move or change your address, change schools, change jobs, and they can't find you, that may be the cause for the issuance of a warrant. Meaning any change in circumstances that you may have in your life that may cause a probation officer to come looking for you in one location and you're not there, they may issue a warrant. That's a simple issue that can be addressed by a criminal defense attorney. Please don't go at it alone. Let an attorney address the issue, address the warrant, figure out what the issues are, validate the warrant, and then help you get in and get out as quickly as possible. Also, once you contact your criminal defense attorney, you want to make a plan with your attorney to surrender yourself and turn yourself in. Now, attorneys will not promise or guarantee any type of outcome, meaning they can't guarantee you're going to turn yourself in and get back out. So you have to make a plan. You have to prepare for it. What do? You want to make sure you have identification, whether it's your driver's license, your student ID, some type of government-issued ID. It could be a passport card. Take that with you. You want to have the numbers of your attorney and family members while you're in jail, either memorized or right on your hand or write on a card or something so you have that information if you're in jail. Also, contact a family member. Let them know what you're doing that day. Although you contacted your attorney, make sure a family member knows that you're turning yourself in. There's a possibility that they may have to post a bond. And if you have any medications or any type of things or any type of procedures that may be coming up, let your attorney know so they can make arrangements to let the judge know, let the clerk know. So if there's any issues, if you're in jail, you can't post bond, they can make arrangements for that medication to be transported to you or some type of medication to be given to you in jail and in place of the medication that was prescribed outside of jail. Judges and clerks, they all view you turning yourself in as a positive sign. Why? Meaning you're not running. Think about this. If there's a warrant for your arrest and a police have to come get you, what do you think is going to be their mindset? Are you still going to be able to argue to the court that you're not a flight risk if they had to come get you just to address the warrant? Odds are that's not going to fly pretty well. But if you turn yourself in with a warrant, you hire an attorney. The argument goes like, Judge, they're not a flight risk. They're not a danger to society. They've hired private counsel, meaning they have an investment in facing these charges, and they want to see these charges all the way through. They have ties to the community. They have a family in this neighborhood. They have houses and property and businesses in this neighborhood. They're not going to flee and ignore all those responsibilities simply because you think that they may be scared of some misdemeanor charge or some nonviolent offense. It's their first offense. They've never been in trouble before. They have an attorney. They've turned themselves in. They're not a flight risk, or neither are they a danger to society. Those are the arguments you can make when you have an attorney and you turn yourself in. But if you're on the run, you kind of lose some of those arguments. So please don't do anything stupid. Remain calm. Contact an attorney, address the warrant through your attorney. And also, it goes without saying, please stay off social media. The fact that you got a warrant, whose business is that? Why do your TikTok followers, all 5 of them, need to know that you got a warrant for your arrest? No one cares. You got a warrant for your arrest, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok, whatever platform you're on right now. They don't care. They don't matter. They cannot support you in this warrant. All you're doing is trying to get attention. On top of that, you're probably going to say something stupid that the police and detectives are going to pull off the social media and they're going to use against you, because anything you say or do can and will be used against you in a court of law. That includes social media. They cannot help you on social media. Stay off social media. Don't contact the victim. Don't try to contact a police officer. Just speak to your attorney and that's it. And if you post bond, once you post bond, I'm speaking things into existence. Once you post bond, obey and abide by all the conditions of release. So if they tell you, do not contact the victim, simple, don't contact the victim, directly or indirectly. That includes tagging them in social media or making vague posts on social media. Oh, so-and-so got me locked up. Or, you know what, I'm going through something. You think everybody's your friend, but you got a snake in the grass. Even though you're not mentioning anyone, it can be construed that you're talking about someone, especially if they're already connected to you on social media. You don't want to do that. It is such a huge risk. Do not do that. Do not post to social media. They tell you do not contact the victim, don't contact the victim. If they tell you go to AA meetings, go to AA meetings. If they tell you do anger management, do anger management. If they tell you that, hey, you want to do some counseling, you want to do a mental health evaluation and comply with all the recommendations, please do that. Because if you don't, that could be construed as a violation of your bond conditions and whoop, you're back in jail again. You don't want those problems. Here are some of the common mistakes I see when someone finds out that they have a warrant. Some of the mistakes people make when they find out they have a warrant, they just ignore it. They think, oh, it's not a interstate warrant. It doesn't bother me. They're not going to come and find me. I see the police every day. They drive by my house. They're not going to arrest me. They will. They absolutely will arrest you. Second thing I see them do is that they flee. They take off running. They say, you know what? I'm out of here. The police are not going to find me. I'm back home. Or they move and they change addresses and they don't update the court because they are already on probation or some type of pretrial release for another case, and they find out there's a warrant for another case. Now, instead of addressing that warrant, they take off running. They still got your information. They know where you live. Why would you do that? Or if it's your first offense, you find out there's a warrant and you just take off. It could be something simple like it's a DUI. You just need to turn yourself in, post bond, or sometimes you're released on your own recognizance, meaning that you don't have to post anything, or it's a non-monetary bond. You don't have to pay anything. You take off running instead. Now, instead of you getting in and getting out, now they're looking for you. Or you go on social media and you make crazy statements. And instead of addressing the warrant, you're on social media. It doesn't work at all. Also, you don't want to give any false information to the officer. Let's say they come and address you. They're coming in a friendly manner. Hey, we got a warrant for your arrest, John Smith. We believe this is you. You need to come with us. I'm not John Smith. I'm Tony Allen. What? We know that's you. We got a picture of you. We know you. We got your social media. We know this is you. But if you're going to maintain that this is not you, we're going to go with that. We're going to arrest you anyway because we know this is you. And when we take you down there, guess what? Instead of addressing the charges that are in the warrant, now you have obstruction of justice. You have lying to a police officer. You have other charges that could have been avoided simply because you gave them false information. Do not bring any weapons with you. I know, it sounds so simple, but you got to understand. I've been doing this for a while. People do the dumbest things, and they will bring a weapon with them into jail, thinking that, oh, I'm getting arrested. I'm going in jail. I've heard the stories. I don't want to get hemmed up. I want to make sure I'm able to protect myself. Why would you do that? Now, instead of addressing the charges in the warrant, you also have a charge of smuggling something into the jail, whether it be a weapon, whether it be narcotics. You're thinking, hey, I'm going to be there a while. I might as well have fun. I might as well feel good. Maybe I can make some money inside the jail. That is the dumbest thing you can do. Don't do that. Don't bring any weapons. Don't bring any narcotics. Don't bring anything that is not permitted to be in that jail. Just don't do it. You don't want the additional charges. Finally, don't try to explain yourself to the officer. The officer just has to do their job. No, the officer's just doing their job. They're trying to execute the warrant. If they have a warrant for your arrest, they're going to pick you up, take you downtown, turn you over to the authorities, whether it be the detectives, whether it be the county jail, whatever they're going to do, they're going to turn you over. If you go up there and start talking to them, start telling your story, most things are going to be recorded. Now, when it comes to recording the officers doing bad things, that's a whole nother story. But when it comes to you doing some bad things and saying some things that are incriminating, they're going to capture that. It's going to be on body cam. It's going to be on dash cam, especially if you're in a marked police cruiser, that camera's going to be on. Anything you're trying to explain to the officers, you're going to hear again in your case. That's a conversation you do not want to look forward to. To recap, what do you do when you find out there's a warrant for your arrest? Stay calm. Contact a criminal defense attorney. Confirm that the warrant is real. Make a plan in order to turn yourself in. Don't try to handle it alone. And again, if I haven't said it already, already, contact your criminal defense attorney. If you do these things, you will be able to effectively address your warrant, get in and out as quickly as possible, as painlessly as possible, because you do not want to be in a position where you're saying statements or you're making it more difficult for an officer or for a judge to say, you know what, I recommend that they get out on bond on their own recognizance, or I recommend that the bond is low, or they don't have to pay a bond at all. The more and more you aggravate the officer, the more and more you aggravate the court, the more aggravating they're going to make it for you in order to get out of jail. This is how you protect your rights, your future, and your freedom. If you want to learn more about defending your case in Pennsylvania, click the first link in the description below. And if this video has helped you, please like, share, and subscribe for additional legal guidance. See you on the next one.